how many fund managers do you actually need in Kenya? Fund managers, I mean, I have put everyone who deals with money together. How many do we actually need? We need many, yes. But is it possible we have some few major ones which can colonize other regions? Is that possible? Because when you have so much money at the management, you see, like I usually see at the BlackRock announces to open an office in Nairobi. They have not yet opened. It becomes news on Bloomberg. Even thinking they are opening an office in Nairobi. And you are here, no one even reports you. Bloomberg have never known you are here. Because of size and scale. So part of the goal setting is to know, you know, many times even in politics we are trapped, just as in business, in something called prisoner's dilemma. Prisoner's dilemma is an analogy given in prison. Even in areas where people should collaborate. Even when it makes no sense for people to collaborate and talk in one voice. Even after analysis have shown collaboration is better, you still want to finish the other person even before you collaborate. You say, yes, we may collaborate, but let me finish him first. Then a vicious war starts. Vicious war starts, you get finished, all of you. So there are some goal setting that may involve, okay, this guy, we fear them. They are very good in this thing we are doing, and we are competitors. Maybe it makes sense for us to collaborate other than compete. Maybe we can end up making more money, spending less in advertisement and marketing, spending less in cutthroat margin competition. Maybe it's your business to think about that. Lastly, in terms of strategic governance, I will only highlight 2 points there. Of course, being strategic is your business. Strategic, thinking macro. There are some things you must not delegate, even as the boss. The sequence I talked about. Because the person you have employed in your office is a fresh graduate. They have worked for 2 years. It's your business to know there was a financial crisis in 2008, and there was a tech bubble a few years before that, and it's your business to know we are likely to get one soon. That sequencing saves you a lot of investing money. There is something, I am mentioning Berkshire Hathaway a lot because I read about them, Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett. I read about them a lot. So around 2007, 2008, how was it? They had piled billions and billions of dollars. And the market was deriding them. The markets thought they were so clever, the markets. And this was this, how I live. So the guys were piling money. They could go to AGM. The guys rise up, they could seek for a chance to speak. Why are you putting so much money in cash? Why can't you invest in this and that? They were not being pushed. So, they had already done the analysis given the previous years. And they knew somewhere here, from 2006, they were already piling money. But you know you are piling money when the market is so bullish. Because the crash always comes after a bullish market. There is no crash when there is a bear market. Crash only comes when it is bullish. So it means you are already losing some opportunity cost. And the people would wonder, why are you not investing? The shares are going up too much. 2007, 2008, the market crashed. Those wazes took up companies for free. They were being begged. A bank like Bank of America, which had to merge with Merrill Lynch, they were begging Wazee. Do you know why they were begging them? Just to invest even $1, because the market would have confidence by Warren Buffett investing even $1 in them. So they invested, got huge stakes in many companies. They were walikuwa wanazifagia hivi. So that strategic decision making have to be with the bosses of the firms who are here. Even those guys, they never, if you go to the Berkshire Hathaway's office, they don't have actually any expert. Those two others used to be the experts. One is late. The other one is, actually, I think he retired this December. Wako na 12 staff. Company worth more than $1 trillion US. With more than 200 companies. I'm not saying you get sacked, you guys, eh? What I'm saying is that the owners of the companies, the leaders, they have their role to play in strategic decision making. Last one is emulation. There is something I've seen economists and also companies. Emulation is, me as a small-time shareholder, I don't need to look at global trends. I see what Warren Buffett is saying, what Ray Dalio is saying about global markets. And then I polish up. Nawekelea tu yangu kidogo na paka rangi. So najua dunia inaenda hivi economically. Because they have money more than me to invest in in quotes R&D, in their formulations of whatever they need to know the predictions. So some of the money you spend, you don't need actually to spend, you emulate. Even economists do that. For Kenya to grow, we don't just wake up and say, we want a Kenyan model. No. We can look at models that may work, that are close by. Either in a car kama Kenya. So that you don't have to experiment too much. For example, one experimentation I'll never do, people in this hall. From today, I would go and take stakes in the NSC without thinking. Why? Because there is no way you are going to get a cheaper company outside than inside the market. Because the market has been bearish. And it's a buyer's market. When it's a buyer's market, why are you looking to buy something outside? Do you know why I'm saying it's a buyer's market as I finish? Some people are asking me, tell us, wewe unanunua KPC? Nimeulizwa na watu wengi hivyo sana. Unanunua zile pipeline? I can't tell you what to do. Because markets, even your own stockbroker cannot tell you what to buy. Because they can tell you in good faith, and then the market misbehaves. Because the markets are not just fundamental. But I want you to take on this. I'm just trying to make a point on why listed companies are so cheap. Let me use Kenya Pipeline. It's not yet listed. Iweke hapa. Do you know anyone with an idea it's valued at how much? At the IPO valuation. The whole company. Even if simunaweza go hata nyinyi saa ingine mnaniangusha kiasi. How much? 160 what? Just Google. There's a point I want us to make. Nataka to make collectively. Madam Director, please come help me. There's a point I want to demonstrate. Unajua nimekuwa nikijiongelesha hapa. Nataka, there's something I want to push in kama conversation. You see the conversation mutakuwa nayo jioni. I want us now to stop now the lecture. We come to a conversation. Please come help me. My brother, come kuja na hiyo karatasi. Tafadhali nisaidie. Karamu na hiyo karatasi, tusaidiane watatu hapa. Hii mambo hakuna haja ya kuongea ati I'm looking down hapa nikiwa juu. Rather, let's converse so that the point can get home. And my point is, kuja, nataka kukuwe na witness. Haya, andika Kenya KPC. Hata nyi andikeni. I want you to refer, this is my last point anyway. Ya mwisho simuandike tu tafadhali hata kama. You know nowadays tunasemanga iko YouTube, I'll go to rewatch. But there's a point I want us to make so that we can use it. Do you know what I want us guys? There are low-lying fruits in the NSC. Let's exhaust them as a country so that we start thinking. You know why? Me, I can't think. You tell me, oh, start a new company. Why do I need to start a new company when I'm getting cheap companies in the NSC? Why? So companies grow when you exhaust low-lying fruits. China grew by first exhausting labor. Labor was so abundant. So, because it was almost free to employ people, labor-intensive industries, low-lying fruits, unamalizana. After you finish, you go to skill-based. They went to skill-based. Wakamalizana. Because of barriers of entry also. Capital-intensive because they now were having some money. So you broke other people based on the might of capital you have. Then you grow. Then you brought back the same process from this capital to become technology intensive. So if the economy grows by picking low-lying fruits, even us here in Kenya will grow by first of all picking low-lying fruits. Tumalizane nazo. The low-lying fruit in Kenya now is the NSC. For you guys seated here. Not passive. Become huge participants. Huge. Why are we having World Bank investing money in our private companies when we are oversubscribing our T-bills? How? KPC. Na nataka tuulizane maswali. So you can use Google also. 163. Make a column. Make a column. Moja uweke valuation. The first column, call it valuation. The second column, call it profit. And the last column, call it PE ratio. It's the simplest way of measuring an investment. It must not be a jargon in this. It can be a jargon elsewhere, but not here. PE ratio, price over earning ratio. And the other way to measure PE ratio is net profit, capitalization divided by net profit. That's the other way of measuring PE ratio. Haya, Madam Director, kuja ukue kama witness. Na hii tunafanya wote. So that you go make your own judgment. Because I don't want to talk about whether to buy or not. Because I'm a politician, but on the other side, I'm an investor. So I may, and as a politician, I have a different view from the one I have as an investor. So that's why I can't tell you. I am going to give you the analysis. Higher. Mumeweka column 1, 163. 163.6. That is the valuation. So, shares, you don't look at the share price. That's something I always see when I tell somebody, oh, buy DTB. Hey, share inatoka 115. Nitanunua hii, ingine inatoka 3 shillings. But you have not even looked at how many shares are listed. You know, capitalization is the price times the number of shares listed. So don't just look at the price. When you're evaluating a company, look at it like you are buying the whole of it. Because a share is a proportion of that company. Higher. The reason I'll be using these 4 companies, I'll use 4, is because when Kenya Pipeline is listed, it will be under a segment called energy segment in the NSC. NSC iko na segments. Automobiles, agriculture, banking, insurance, kuna energy. So kwa hiyo energy, itakuwa hii, ikikuwa listed. The second one will be umeme ya Uganda. The other one will be Kenya Power. The other one will be Kengen. And the other one will be Total. So I'll not use umeme. I'll use the Kenyan ones. Higher. KPC tumeandika 163.6. What is their last profit? We'll not take the last. We'll take the highest. The last is not the highest. The highest they have ever made, according to the books I've seen, is 12 billion bottom line. That's the highest profit they have ever made. Last year was lesser. Yes, 12 is the highest they have ever made. What I have seen in the books. But of course, those people who've been in the market know the dynamics. They are not likely to. I am waiting to see half-year results. I am certain they will release half-year results of around 10 because there is an IPO. Just write somewhere, because some of these things I'm saying is the predictions we do in the market when even you do them. I'm sure they will release the first half, quarter was around 5. The second half, quarter was around 5. So, but I don't want us to use there. I want us to use 12. But I'm just telling you, when there is an IPO, part of that IPO comes with, lazima upake kampuni rangi kiasi. So they are likely to announce half-year profit of 10. And they are actually also likely to be oversubscribed. Because the share, it started the IPO on 17th. If they stopped on 17th evening, it was already oversubscribed. Not by Kenyans. The allocation done on the paper. I'm telling you the facts. Just look at the results after the announcement. Most all companies will have been made to buy the shares. Not they will have bought, they will have been made. Just look at, you know, when you live in Kenya, you don't struggle to see trades. I can tell you from Kenya, the second investor will be a Ugandan, but that Ugandan will be Kenyan. Si result iko in a month's time, utaniambia. You can be assured the biggest applicants in terms of quantum will be all marketers. Some who you have never known, they are actually all marketers. But the number 2 from Kenya will be Ugandan. Another line, it will be a Kenyan Ugandan. And it will be a company. Okay. Wacha tusiongee siasa leo. Kenya Power. Valuation. Valuation. Just Google there. Saki kutumia my words. Just go, somebody to Google for me, Kenya Power market cap today. You know market cap, I hope you know market cap. The valuation of the company using the share prices. That's why you heard me talk about this Safaricom issue the other day, because it is just too grossly incompetent to talk about markets. And you will see just now when you are valuing a company and selling a big stake. Somebody Google for me, Kenya Power market cap. Yeah? 28. Decimal wata tuache. 28. Can you Google for me there? Kenya Power profits in 2025. In 2020, the recent one is 2020. Yes, 2025, because they end their financial year in June. Just Google for me. I want you to, and please write. And I'm saying this because even this whole, I've already been asked by somebody, do I buy this share? No. I want you to do it for yourself, right? 24B. Hata tuachane na decimal points. So, how do you calculate P ratio ndio tuende tukimaliza yote? This is P ratio. You can just do valuation divide by earnings, which is net. So hii ya kwanza divide 164 divide by 12. I've used the highest. Ile wametumia juzi is even lower. 164 divide by 12. 13.6. That's the highest ever. I'm reminding you, I'm not using the, ile walitumia ni lower. It's like half of this. It's 13, yes. Hii ya kwanza tumepata 13 P ratio. Haya, power. Divide 28 divide by 24. No, 1.2. Haya. Kenyan, listen here. Kenyan is one of the best dividend payers because they pay 75% of their earnings. But I don't want us to focus on dividends. We focus on the company. Can you Google for me market cap of Kenyan? It's around 63 billion. Weka 63. Google for me Kenyan profit 2025. It's around 10. But Google. 10.5. Higher. Divide for me 63 divided by 10.5. Na muandike pahali. Hii kitu nataka muende nayo nyumbani. 6. Let's go to total Kenya. The market cap should be around 6.7. But check. Should be 6.7, but check. Total Kenya market cap. Total Energies. Market cap. It's around 6.7, I'm sure. Anyone who has gotten? Yeah, 6.7. Higher profit, just check, total Kenya half-year profit 2025. Half year. Judio imetoka. Full year itatoka maybe next month. Must be about 1.1? 1.1. So times 2? 2.2. So 2.2. Divide 6.7 divide by 2.2. 3. 3, eh? Madam Director, I request, for this question I'm going to ask, the company to give just a gift, if atakama ni hikabukure, to the person who will answer. Anything, just to remember. Can anyone from the audience who was writing, please, just come and tell me what you have, after writing, what comes to your mind? You don't come, even, you can say it there. Yes, there's a lady here. Let's get like 2. And any other, after writing, what comes to your mind after you write?
For me, I think I would buy Kenya Power.
Please say rise,
okay.
So that you help us.
I'd put a lot of my money in Kenya Power. The reason being, it would only take me 1 year to recover my money. But for KPC, it would take me approximately 14 years to recover my investment.
Makofi tafadhali. I am happy to know that people are listening. Any other person, even if you repeat what you have, in other words, you know mtu anasema, you know you guys, unaona kabuka mtu anasema just to add on to that. Yes.
Hata siwezi anguka mtihani, I repeat the previous speaker's sentiments.
Can also somebody tell us about even the others? You have mentioned the 2 extremes. You can mention what you have learned about the others. Anyone who wrote that graph, what you have learned and what comes to your mind? As if, Iko, my brother there. My brother there. I want 2 people and somebody else, Wamwisho. Just 2 people. This is part of reinforcing the lesson. The last person in Ani. If you get a lady, my brother there. The very last, a lady. There is a lady next there. Okay, let's go. And you can write so that other people may have attention. Unaamuka tu ukisema.
The P ratio 13.6 for Kenya Pipeline does present a risk of overvaluation. It could be overpriced. So there's that risk element that maybe the share price could be overvalued. And yeah, that's my take on that.
Okay, my take on this, Total is 4 times better than KPC.
Thank you. What I gather is that the listed companies appear better value for money. KPC, not as good as the listed companies. Thank you.
Any other person? Thank you very much. Let's clap for them. Please, you may sit. Hata nikimalizia hapo, nimesema kitu. Si nimenyamaza tu. So what I mean, many times we rely on people, on professionals to guide our money. But some of the decisions we need to make when you are investing are too. Can you just imagine you never read in a book? They are too close by. You just went on your phone and all the relevant information you needed, you have it. So, markets also have other things. You may not know what has been hidden there. So that's why it's difficult to tell somebody. As a politician, I may talk, but this is not the forum. But as an investor, you have talked. You get what I mean? So, and in all the other, when you go to banking, you look at something called core capital versus the valuation. That's how you value. When you're buying a bank stock, you look at the core capital or shareholders' funds, because core capital applies to the bank, which is only operating in Kenya. But most of the Kenyan banks are operating regionally, and they have subsidiaries. So shareholders' funds also captures subsidiaries. You know, core capital is a statutory requirement to list. But shareholders' funds also now incorporates whether you are a bank, the Ugandan one, the Tanzanian one, and the rest. So always look at the percentage between the valuation and the core capital. As I finish, very lastly, I also want to plead to Kenyans. And I want to plead to the government. When we give our considered opinion, we are giving it for Kenya to benefit. I still hold, because the truth, you cannot rub it. The truth will remain to be the truth. The valuation of Safaricom at 34 shillings is grossly undervalued, as we have seen in our computation here today. We have seen here that Kenya Power is valued at 28 billion. Even at that double that, which is 56 billion, do we think government can sell Kenya Power for 56 billion? They can't. Yet it's double price of what the market is trading. So I'm also appealing that all of us, let us purpose to put up Safaricom transaction in an international bid. Because people will compete for our shares, which is a 15% stake. And you can be guaranteed the 2 or 4 billion we are getting, we are going to get more than 350 billion from other people bidding for Safaricom shares. Because our market has been undervalued. And when it is undervalued, it is not the right parameter to measure the share you own. It is the right one to measure the share you want to buy, not the share you want to sell. And you have seen in the market, yesterday night, you saw that Nedbank from South Africa is buying NCBA. It is buying NCBA at a price of around 102 shillings because it's 1.24 to book value. It's about 1.4 to book value. So the share was trading at below 70 before any news of a takeover came up. But now the company, in terms of the valuation at which Nedbank is buying NCBA, is more than 50% of that price. Meaning the market was not valuing NCBA the way it ought. And that's why there is already a transaction of the market at a much higher price. There is a transaction happening in Kenya now of a company called EABL. The IGO is selling to Asahi of Japan. The share price today, as you can check on the internet,